Take a moment and think about a salad that you had recently. The lettuce alone in that salad has traveled thousands of miles. It was harvested over a week prior to that, still covered in pesticides and herbicides at that point. The salad itself has consumed millions of gallons of water in its journey and in order to grow. And yet 40 to 50% of that produce was wasted in the journey to your plate.
We're the founding farmers of HomeGrown Farms, an indoor farming hydroponic technology company outside of the Philadelphia region. We seek to eliminate the waste and inefficiencies of our food supply system. My name is Parth Chauhan. I'm the CEO of HGF. I graduated from the Elliott School in 2013, and I've been a public policy consultant for 3 years before I became a farmer.
My name is Zio Patel. I'm the Chief Operating Officer. I bring 2 years of experience in operations and automation technology.
I'm Raghav Garg, our Chief Financial Officer, and I bring 3 years of experience in digital advertising and marketing, as well as 8 months of experience with startups.
And I'm Pranav Kaul, our Chief Science Officer. I'm a senior in the Elliott School studying global public health and biology, and I have extensive research experience in nutrition and healthcare issues. HomeGrown Farms, or HGF, is a business-to-business indoor farming company that yields hyperlocal, sustainable produce by using the most innovative hydroponic technology. Our USDA-certified crops are grown under LED lights in a nutrient-rich water solution without the use of harmful chemicals. Since we're indoors and able to control all aspects of the environment, HGF crops are able to grow faster and healthier than traditional farms. Our mission at HomeGrown is very simple: grow local, eat local.
Domestically, we change the way we grow, distribute, and eat our food. We not only target the $15 billion organic vegetable market, but the much larger vegetable production market as a whole. HGF promotes regional, sustainable food systems.
What we're designed to do is to limit the waste and inefficiencies that exist in an already well-established food system. We know the United States does have a strong food supply system. However, there's also problems with it, as the ones that Pranav mentioned. What HGF is able to do is streamline these waste points and drop out 3 macro steps in the supply chain of produce that are traditionally associated with these farms. That allows for us to be healthier, allows us to be cheaper, faster, and tastier than our competitors. At the same time, these savings not only help our bottom line, but the environment as well.
We reduce food miles from 1,500 miles down to a mere 30 miles. We reduce our fertilizer use to 20% and water consumption to just 10% of traditional use. We never use any herbicides or pesticides to ensure no chemicals are leaking into our environment. HGF is harvest to fork within 48 hours.
What we're currently operating out of is a 320 square foot shipping container. And in that small space, we're able to grow an acre's worth of crops, around 15,000 pounds of produce. To put that in some scale, what would normally take a football field-sized farm, we can do in a space basically smaller than this stage. Eventually, we'll be growing hundreds of thousands of pounds of produce in a warehouse setting.
Today, in cities like Philadelphia, the lack of year-round, locally sourced leafy greens and fresh herbs cause major quality concerns for chefs at high-end restaurants and supply constraints for procurement officers at institutions with sustainability initiatives. Our go-to-market strategy is to sell to these 2 customer segments by addressing these major pain points in their operation. We've already seen substantial traction with both of these groups.
HGF offers numerous value propositions to our clients. For example, with chefs at high-end restaurants, we're able to simplify their supply chain and at the same time provide vegetables with great taste and consistent taste. Now, in addition to this, we're looking to work with institutions who value a premium local product and are large enough to minimize our deliveries. For example, we're currently working with the University of Pennsylvania on their local food initiative 365 days a year. Normally, these chefs are unable to get any kind of hyperlocal produce from November to March, the time when their dining halls are the most busy. We're able to fill this need, and we're able to balance the sales from our high-end restaurants and our institutions in order to ensure a consistent stream of revenue.
HGF's leafy greens and fresh herbs are in incredibly high demand. We've already spoken with over 50 restaurants and institutions in the Philadelphia region who are ready to purchase from us today. We currently do not have the supply capacity to meet this demand, but we see great opportunity for expansion in this region with your help.
Our produce grown at scale costs us $1.86 a pound to grow, and we're currently being able to sell at an average of $8.50 a pound. In our optimized growing unit, against $100,000 in upfront costs, we're able to attain a gross profit margin of 49.5%, which equates to more than $50,000 annually. As we scale up to a warehouse, because of things such as economies of scale, our hyperlocal distribution network, And our optimized LED technology, our gross profit margin actually increases to 76.3%, which, assuming a 10,000 square foot warehouse, means that our annual gross profits are more than $3.8 million.
So the capital costs involved in a 10,000 square foot warehouse will be $3 million. That $3 million is a fully optimized, fully utilized warehouse system. However, we won't need that $3 million up front. Rather, our business and our farm is designed to be built out in a modular fashion. What that means is we can take smaller investments of $200,000 each and use them to develop different grow rooms. Each of these grow rooms will be optimized and developed according to a specific client or type of crop. Once we're generating revenue from that one grow room, we'll be able to generate revenues and leverage that into our second grow room, our third grow room, eventually having 5 grow rooms per 10,000 square foot warehouse. This will allow for us to keep our costs low while expanding our network and allow for us to increase our revenue and our profits. This is extremely essential because it allows for us to expand into new markets faster than our competitors and to develop stronger relationships than our competitors. We also have other significant advantages over other people in the indoor farming field. People like Aero Farms and Gotham Greens, we have significant advantages compared to them, and we're going to talk about more of our competitive advantages now.
HEF has partnered with Archimedes Lights to bring radical new LED technology to our system. These LEDs do not only enhance our plant growth, but reduce our overall energy costs down by 60%. This is 10% more than any of our competitors. HEF is currently developing a patentable hydroponic system.
Our advisory board is phenomenal. It's comprised of local government officials, agricultural researchers, electrical engineers, and capital investors. Some of these names include Mahesh Gandhi, a director of business development at GE, Ali Long, the founder and director of the Local Food Alliance, Samir Patel, a private investor and Harvard MBA, and of course, Mario Cardullo, a serial entrepreneur most famously known as the inventor of the RFID chip.
An important part of our competitive advantage is our social impact. Our positive impact makes our clients like UPenn more incentivized to work with us. We're able to hire from locally distressed communities. In a place like Camden in particular, which has a very high unemployment rate, we're working with South Jersey's largest nonprofit for job training. They provide vetted employees for our farm facilities, and eventually we'll be growing produce in their local communities. We can also donate a significant portion of our produce to local food banks. Food banks have come to us and asked for things like kale and arugula and spinach, especially during the winter months. They just don't simply have any supply of these fresh, nutritious produce. We're actually able to work with the local chefs and food banks and figure out what exactly they want, what they need, and drop it off, instead of just handing over leftovers every now and then.
Now, you may wonder why a for-profit business would donate almost 2,600 pounds out of the 15,000 that we can grow in an optimized container. Well, first, it reflects our company values in helping support and creating strong ties with our local communities. Second, the tax deductions from the donations are valued at $1.25 million over the next 10 years. On top of that, we'll be earning an additional $4 million in sellable tax credits in that same time period. Now, our social impact model means that the estimated 90,000 pounds of produce we'll be donating from a warehouse will not only maximize our tax deductions, it'll also help feed an estimated 1,700 Americans for a year. We not only boost our impact on our communities, we help boost the impact on our investors' bottom lines.
Now, our homegrown business model has 3 main phases. We're currently in phase 1, during which we're using a modified shipping container to serve as our proof of market. Now, we're using the relatively low startup costs associated with these containers in order to help de-risk our venture in the short term and to help us establish a strong customer base within our first year.
After 6 months in phase 1, we move on to phase 2, where we optimize our technology and move it to scale into a warehouse system. Warehouses come with the added benefit of tax benefits, as well as below market value pricing, especially in cities like Camden that are looking for repurposement.
So after a year in phase 2, we'll move on to phase 3, where we expand to cities across the US. We'll be focusing on cities such as DC and Minneapolis that have low access to but high demand for year-round produce. What we'll be doing is taking a shipping container from a previous location and testing out a new market. This type of model allows for rapid assessment and expansion of markets, since poor performing markets can be dissolved with little loss of capital.
Beyond this growth model, HEF has the opportunity for numerous applications in various sectors, from feeding military bases through DoD projects to feeding migrant camps through US aid projects. And the market for local and indoor farming around the world is vast and still growing because land and water issues are becoming more and more prevalent all across the globe. We're very excited as a team to explore all of these future opportunities for our company.
So our marketing strategy is simple. Provide great produce to local companies, good jobs to local residents, and help our communities become more food independent and sustainable. We're currently seeing a lot of positive support from restaurants and universities who want to feature us on their menus. We're also getting a lot of free press in places such as Marketplace Radio, in newspapers, and in magazines, which in turn has led to new clients approaching us to see if they can order from us. Currently, we're only able to provide for a small portion of UPenn's total vegetable consumption, but they and others are interested in larger and larger purchase orders with HomeGrown Farms as we grow. No pun intended.
To date, we have invested $75,000 of our own personal savings to get HGF off the ground. We've developed operations, built strong client relations, and we are now growing our produce. We see great market opportunity, we know where we can go, and we just need your help to get there.
The $35,000 prize will help accelerate our timeline for growth by 8 months. It will allow us to accomplish 3 major things. We'll be able to order our customized LEDs, we'll be able to complete our patent application, and we'll be able to complete more and more research and development into the nutrition and optimization of our system. At the same time, it'll come with the credibility and the honor of winning something like the GW New Venture competition, which will give a lot of name and credence in front of investors and clients as we expand the company in the future. We have a positive and powerful impact socially, environmentally, as well as financially for our investors. We know exactly what we can do with this prize money, and we really need your help in getting to the next level. Please help us grow local so our communities can eat local. Thank you.